This is Open Enough to Listen. My name is Dominique, and we have a special guest, Brandon.
What's going on? What's going on? My name is Brandon. I've been knowing Dominique for a little minute since we was kids. You know what I'm saying? I was invited here to speak a little bit, so I want to listen and get my partake. You know what I mean? Get my piece. I mean,
All right, so one of the questions people want to know, what women would like to know from a man's perspective, because that's what we're going to be talking about, is, from a man's perspective when it comes to certain things, whether it's women, friendships, business, work. So just ask you what you think about how can a woman know if a man truly changes, and what does it look like?
how can a woman know when a man truly? Uh, it's easier said than done, if you ask me. But I think most men are creatures of habit. You know what I'm saying? So once a pattern changes, I think that could be a telltale sign. But most of us are, we're creatures of habit. We do everything the same way. You know if 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 a man is comfortable doing something one way, that's the way we're going to do it. So I feel like once you start seeing different changes, and not changes for the worse, but changes for the better. You know what I mean? I think that's how you can tell, but there's really no telltale sign, you know what I'm saying, besides a change of pattern. And sometimes men are good at changing patterns, and I will say that helps. But some men are definitely some of us can play the game a little better than others, you know what I'm saying? So, but for the most part, it comes down to a woman knowing her man for real. I'm able to tell when my woman is changing because I know her.
Right.
So, if you know your man, and if you in tune with your well, not just your man, but your partner, period. If you in tune with your partner, you'll be able to tell it before, you know what I mean? You'll be able to tell it before anything come out.
Yeah, I would say, to kind of piggyback on what you said, what I would think is when it comes to, obviously, a man changes. I think changes, one, has to do with the intention to change, also the consistency. And I think on the other part, it has to do with the woman kind of being open to change instead of looking at the negative things that either was said or have been done, if they're trying to look at, the positive. But when it comes to the man, and I don't think, in a sense, when it comes to a woman looking at a man changing, oh, he changed for a week, he doing good. That's not how it really works. It have to be like, really time in, put into it, like 3 to 6 months, maybe even longer than that. And it sucks to say that, but it's just like when you're trying to change, or if you did something in the sense that what the woman didn't like, it's almost like you in a doghouse, like
Right.
probation. You got to check in. You got to understand whatever happened. You know, it was your fault. So whatever you're doing to try to change to make that your significant other, or hell, even friends, um, to know that you're not that same person, or you're trying to change or grow, you have to have
Right.
that consistency, as well as, you know, just being persistent with what you're doing,
Right.
and having the intention and wanting to change for that person.
Right. Right. Yeah. Also, if I also feels like it sometimes a man can be changing, and it's not at the speed that woman wants that change, and that can play a part too. Sometimes women don't see the small changes that we've made, you know what I'm saying, when we make them. And that's very discouraging too. And that's just coming from my experience. You know, the the worst thing to me is and it's not saying that I do things to be noticed, but the worst thing to me is trying to change for you, but you still see the same. the same, you know what I'm saying? Like you still see the same shit. And that's rough and extra, like that becomes extra weight on my back because it's already enough weight me sitting here going through the motions, trying to change, trying to do what I need to do to better me so I can be better for you. And if you don't see that, that is very discouraging.
Yeah, and to piggyback off that, as far as it being discouraging, is almost like, how can I put this? So if we're doing something and we know, okay, we're trying to either appease or we're trying to do something that you want us to do. Not all guys, but to be honest, we kind of want some of that positive affirmation, like, hey, you're doing a good job, right?
Yeah.
And it's all based off of who the person is. I know I'm kind of like somewhat built like a soldier. So if you tell me something, okay, this is what I gotta fix, I'm gonna do it,
Right.
but allow me the time to be able to do it. But if you don't say anything, it's just like, well, am I doing it right? Is it working? And if there's no communication there and it fall by the wayside, it's almost as looked at, okay, you don't care what I'm doing. And I'm either gonna go back to what I'm doing, or I'm just gonna say forget it because you don't care.
Yeah. And one thing I think gets overlooked is that, all men, I don't care who you are, I don't care where you come from. All men have one thing in common, and that's an ego. You know what I mean? No matter how big, how small. And one thing that I will say, and don't let nobody tell you no different, right? Because every man will try to play like this is not something that they feel like. But a lot of us, I'll say a good 80% of us, our love language is words of affirmation because we try so hard to please and we try so hard to do right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the words of affirmation, yeah, I know we say things like, oh, we don't need nobody to validate us and all that shit. That's a lie. For a man, that's taking care of a home and doing and going out breaking his ball busting, he needs that. You know what I'm saying? I need to know that you rocking with me and I'm Mr. Make Shit Happen. I need to hear that sometime. And most men are like that. Most men won't tell you that, but just like most women won't tell you their love language is gifting. Give me gifts. A lot of women would try to play, I don't need gifts. I like time and affect. Yeah, but your shallow love language is gift giving. And my shallow love language is words of affirmation. I need it. I want it. I like it. I enjoy it. It pushes me. It motivates me. That's why not noticing a change that I've made is very discouraging to me. You get what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying. I get the shallow part of his gifts because I won't speak on women when it comes
Yeah.
to
Well, no,
love.
no.
But I will say I will piggyback on what you said when it comes to a man though, because I would definitely say I'm the same way when it comes to words of affirmation. I may not say it unless I
Yeah.
tell you, but
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna tell you my love language is words of affirmation.
Yeah. I ain't
Mainly
never told.
because
I ain't never
I'm
told a
just
woman
gonna
that.
do it. Yeah,
I
I'm
I
pretty
ain't
much
never
just
told a
gonna
woman.
do it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we don't open up anyway. And then keeping it a whole buck when it comes to love languages, that's something that I've learned recently. Now, some people, were ahead of the curve, but it's just like
Mm.
once you learn it, then you're able to apply it. It's just like, oh, okay, I get it. But that words of affirmation, like I think what is so crazy when it comes to it is that when, like, let's just say, okay, you're dating, and a woman is encouraging you, a woman is, telling, hey, you could do X, Y, Z. Hey, you know what? I like the fact that you did that. Hey, I appreciate that you took out the trash, and it could be the smallest thing, but for us, it's like, okay, I'm doing something right, and it's like
Mm.
if someone is uplifting us, for me, in my opinion, I feel like as a man, shoot, we're gonna run through a brick wall for our family, and who we seeing
For sure.
based off of what they said because they kind of give us power, you know.
Yeah. The the power of a tongue is crazy, man. That's not just
Man,
a saying that came out of the blue. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's facts. That's facts. All right, so I'm gonna ask you another question. So, do you think men face unfair societal pressure to prioritize work over personal or family life?
I think some men do. I wouldn't say all of them, but there are a lot of us that do. I've been one of them because, and I just say some of them because some people are just, some people have different things they have to worry about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to worry about whether my light's gonna stay on, if my kids is gonna have what they need. Some people don't have to worry about that. Some people, you know what I'm saying, they got that part covered. So I mean, I think in some cases, in a lot of cases, yeah, I do. I think it's very stressful and it's a lot of pressure. You know what I mean? Trying to keep a ba- trying to keep a business running is hard, man. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, whether you're in a family business, marriage business, entrepreneur, whatever you do, trying to keep things like that afloat, like that, it is tough, dude. It's tough. So for some of us, yeah, I can't speak for everybody, but for me, yes, I do feel those pressures every day. I don't like telling my kids no. You know what I'm saying? I don't like telling my woman, oh, you got to wait till Friday. I don't like, you know what I'm saying? Like certain things like that. Yes, that'll put yeah, that'll put a little damper on your mood for real, but not everybody. Some people.
I, I would like to kind of dive a little deeper into that. Just when it comes to just the pressure, we ain't even talk about society, but just the pressure of trying to balance and prioritize work over your personal life with your, with the stuff that you want to do, with things that you got have going on. And then when it comes to the family life, that's a whole juggle within itself. So trying to juggle spending time with your significant other, spending time with the kids, as well as going to work because you want to do XYZ with your kids and your family. And
Hmm.
then you also gotta have, you and her time. So it's just trying to balance it is I think our biggest challenge as men to try to figure it out because we want to make, you know, our family happy, but we also want to be able to put food on the table to where, our significant other is not saying, hey, what's going on with this or hey, we're missing that. So it becomes a challenge. And I feel like once a man will master the balance of family, finances, as well as, whatever their personal thing is when it comes to them, pretty much they got it. Because that's the
Right.
hardest part. Trying to make sure you have a good job to be able to provide. Work two jobs to be able to provide. But then when you work two jobs, now you're taking away from you seeing your family. So it's trying to find that balance to where you can make everyone happy. And that's just from a man's perspective. Because obviously if a woman's doing their part, they could help with that balance, but it's still
Mm.
tough because we don't talk about it as much when it comes to men, but it's just like we want to do give the world to our family. We do,
For sure.
but it goes unsaid and unnoticed when we're working or we doing X, Y, Z. But something is going on the wayside, and it's just like that's not our intention. Because when we at work, we don't want to be there, but we doing it because we want to do it for our family. We want to be able to go places. We want to be able to take,
Mm-hmm.
our woman to, a nice place or take our kids to, on a vacation or amusement park. We
Right.
want that, but at the same time, when we are working and doing all that stuff and then try to balance, we can at times be complacent because it
Mm-hmm.
starts to become, you know, just routine.
Yep. But some of us, I can speak about me. I thrived a little better in a routine, if I'm being honest. So I don't necessarily mind a routine, if that makes sense. But it's only 24 hours in a day. So, you have to use those 24 hours to the best of your ability, but you can't, like I don't even know how I want to explain it because it's a tough, like to me, it's a kind of a tough question. You still with me?
Okay. It was a question in the chat said,
I can't hear you.
okay, no, okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the question. It says, so But are you changing because you want to? This is based off of that first question. Are you changing because you want to, or just to make your partner happy? When we was talking about changing.
From a man's perspective,
Yep.
I'm gonna say a little bit of both. I'm gonna say a little bit of both. I say mainly because you want to make your partner happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say it's a little bit of both, but you gotta know it's a problem to change it. So sometimes, there may be a problem that we may not think is a problem, but she think is a problem. So we'll fake change it. You know what I'm saying? We'll change this for her. Like I'm doing this because she don't like this. I'm not doing this because I'm tired of doing this shit. I'm doing it because she don't like it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a little bit of both. I've been in positions where I felt like I changed all of me to accommodate one person. And I've been in positions where I've changed me to accommodate me. So I mean, it really, I think it's a little bit of both. It's mainly because your partner says something to you. Because a lot of times we won't know we got a problem until somebody say something.
That's true. Yeah, I would agree. I think it's more so a little bit of compromising, for your partner, for her to be happy. But I think
Of
when it
course.
comes to, when it comes to us, we'll do it because we want them to be happy. But I think
Yeah.
like obviously big changes. Let's just kind of go when it comes to big changes though. Let's just say you lazy. Let's just say you don't do X Y Z. Then that's something different. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Compared to, oh, well, I like it when you do this, or I like it when you, for example, I like when you rub your feet. You may not have rubbed someone's feet, but it's just like, okay, I do it because it make you happy,
Right,
but
right, right.
I'm doing it, to make you happy, and that's I guess it's a small change. When it comes to big change, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes for us men, when we get with someone that we're into and we really like, you know what I'm saying? I think changing is a lot easier, but it does become a lot easier to change for that person as opposed to yourself. Because now you're
Right.
not even, like you don't even care that you have a problem. You just know that if you don't change this shit you got going on, you're gonna lose, you know,
The person
then
you
you're gonna
love.
lose out.
Right,
You're gonna lose the
right,
person you love. So, it that's a that could be a touchy one, man. That change and stuff. Because I promise you,
yeah,
I've been in positions like that too, where I didn't change shit. I didn't think I had a problem. I didn't think that was my problem. But I'm gonna change it because you don't like it, even if it makes me unhappy to change this. You feel what I'm saying?
okay.
Because
I
when I fall for a woman, my happiness now goes on the back burner. When I'm with my family, my happiness doesn't mean nothing to me. So, I'm changing to make you happy, even like I said, even if it makes me unhappy. But that's a man. That's something men do that shit all the time.
But we don't talk about it though, because I was gonna say to touch on what you just said. I don't think I'm gonna just speak for self. But when it comes to putting our feelings and the stuff that we do on the back burner, that's real. But we don't talk about it. And then the thing when it comes to I guess not gonna say all females, but some females they have people to talk to.
Oh
Whether it's
yeah,
their friends or something that happened at work, they still got people, even if it's associates, they got still people to talk to. Whereas
yeah,
for us, like we hold it in or like, hey, you good? Yeah, I'm all right. Like we're not gonna
yeah.
necessarily open up. It'll just be bottled up. But in that process, what we're doing is we holding on to, whatever the case is as it pertains to whatever we got going on.
You're right.
All right. So to what you just said. So you think men are expected to sacrifice personal ambitions, pursuing projects or hobbies in favor of family and financial stability?
Repeat the question for me again.
All right. So do you think it's pretty much what we were just talking about? Do you
Mm.
think men are expected to sacrifice personal ambitions, pursuing projects or things that you want to do or hobbies in favor of family and financial stability?
Yes, 100%. Yes, yes. And I think, see, that's something that's natural in most. I'm not gonna say all, but most men. That's a natural thing because I was just having this convo today at work, and I was, me and the guys at work was talking. I work with a couple white guys, you know what I mean, and so we were just talking about how how differently things are in the two racial households. You know what I'm saying, in your white household and in my white household. You know what I'm saying, like, and I feel like in most men, I don't care what color you are, red, black, white, or brown. Okay, most men when they come out, whether they were raised by a single mother, single father, right? I was raised by a single mother, but one thing my mama taught me is as a man, I provide and protect. You get what I'm saying? I got friends that was raised by their fathers. Their fathers taught them the same thing. Most of us men get taught somewhat of the same shit from the time we start liking girls to the time we up and married. You get what I'm saying? Which is why
Mm.
sometimes we tend to take on more responsibility than a woman is asking us for because of the way we're brought up. You know what I mean? I'm brought up to if me and my lady together, we live together, I bring home, I go get the bacon, I bring it home, you bake it, right? But see, in some cases, they don't need me for that. You know what I'm saying? But this all most of us know. Provide, protect. So yes, if it comes down to my family or making sure the lights is on or my happiness or wanting to do what I want to do, of course I'm gonna sacrifice that. Without a question, I'm not even gonna think twice about it. Most men won't.
Mm. Hmm. I think I would say most men, but the thing that sucks is there's other parts where some men do, and
Oh yeah.
then I think that's where it starts to create that problem because that's where that stereotype of men, specifically black men, ain't this, ain't that, because
Hmm.
of they're not handling their responsibilities. But to the ones who are handling responsibility, like you said, when it comes to that, I think it has a lot to do with how you're raised. And then the crazy part about it when it comes to, let's just say that you've been raised to be financially stable, work, and take care of manly things, but you wasn't taught how to necessarily love on a woman, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like, and then on top of that, being able to eliminate your pride and be vulnerable enough to say, hey, look, I don't know how to love. I don't know how to love you the way you, but can you teach me? Can you show me,
Hmm.
in a sense how to do it? But 9 times out of 10, we gonna either figure it out or we're gonna be quiet and not say nothing. But we
Hmm.
don't we don't be communicating, or when we do communicate, we don't communicate it well and we get cussed out for that.
Right. We definitely don't communicate it well, you know what I'm saying?
No, we don't. We don't.
Because we not a lot of us ain't used to having to do that. We're not used to have like I'm not used to having to, you know what I mean, do that. Like this is like that shit comes with age and experience. You know what I mean?
So okay. So when you say that comes with age and experience, I think it goes to what you had said before. So when it comes to you trying, let's just say change it, or just in general, a woman's probably depending on where they're at in their life, they may leave
Hmm.
because either you're not doing what they require of you, or you're not mature enough to be able to handle it in that time. And I think that happens a lot too, because I shoot maturity is something, but I think you learn through experience, rather good, bad, or indifferent. Rather it's a heartbreak
Trial
or
and
rather
error,
it was something. Yeah, but it's
for
it's all
sure.
based off of what you take from it. Because it's a lot of guys that I know that 56, they still doing the same thing. 'Cause
Doing
they
the
ain't learned.
same thing. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but at the same time, it's a blessing to be able to learn, to be able to change, to make that change. Because you could be like that person that's 50, 60 years old that's doing the same thing and don't think nothing wrong with them, but they miserable
right,
and they,
exactly.
think or whatever the case is. So I think this as a man being able to recognize what you need to change and wanting to work on it, to be
Yeah,
able to, make a difference whoever you with. Because
yeah.
it's about growth. If you're not gonna grow, you're gonna continue to do the same thing. You're gonna continue to do the same result. And if you do that,
You
then
definitely gonna get the same result every single trip, every single time. Been there, done that, got the T-shirt. But I had to, I had to do a lot of, growing. You know what I'm saying? Now I have, now it's so easy for me to point out my flaws and and where I fucked up at. You know what I'm saying? Because I took that time to really sit back and you know what I mean, look myself in the damn mirror. But it definitely like it comes with like it just comes with age and experience. Like you said, like if you're not mature enough to realize, then you're just not going to get it. And you know what I mean? And you're always going to fall until you fall that one last time and you hurt your ass real good. I've been there. I failed and I hurt my ass real good. This, shit changing now. You know what I'm saying? So
okay. All right. So would you consider a dangerous person to be somebody that doesn't want to love you but don't want to lose you?
do I consider that to be a dangerous person?
Hmm. So let's just say someone that you were dating, pretty much you in love with them,
Mhm.
but they're not in love with you, but they love what you do for them. So they keep you around because they don't want to lose what you can do for them, but they're
Mhm.
not in love with you. But
That's
you
very
love them.
dangerous. Very dangerous. Dangerous. It's very dangerous for me. For me, I can't speak for you, but that's very dangerous for me. When I love hard. You get what I'm saying? Like I love hard. Like I feel like that's not a gift and a curse. That's a curse for me, dog. Like you know what I'm saying? Like once I love you, like that's it. I'm ready to go to war about you. I go to war with God about you. You get what I'm saying? Like that's just so yeah, that's very dangerous for me. It's very dangerous for me. And that's something I dealt with as well. Something I've been dealing with. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
That was and that is yeah, that's bro, yeah, that's crazy. That's I think that's I don't even want to say just for me. I think that's dangerous for any man, dog. Do you know how hard it is for us to love and be able to deal with somebody and then when we do that shit not reciprocated? Oh, worst feeling ever.
Yeah, I think it's
Laying next
like,
to someone that you would die for that don't give two shits about you. That is a man. That's a kick in the heart for real.
yeah, and I'll say the crazy thing when it comes to, you giving your all to someone and they don't care about you but what you can do for them. For male and female, it's dangerous because at that point it's just like, just leave and let me be.
Why you think they got a
At that
show called Snapped?
right, but I think at that point in time when you're when you are doing all these different things and the person is not feeling, but they are still willing and like
to
spoon
accept to
feeding you
accept
so
everything.
you
Yeah.
can stay there, just to not be with you because they like the things that you do. Like I said, that's crazy. And like you said, people will snap, but I think the biggest thing is with that is hoping that you're able to realize, when it comes down to it, okay, I'm doing this, I'm not getting nothing from it, and I'm seeing how this person is treating me. You have to step away because, like you
hmm
said, that can go down a dangerous road because you giving your all to a person that's not, being receptive to you. You know, and that, like you
hmm
said, that's dangerous. That's dangerous.
Yep. And that's scary too. That's a scary. That's a scary feeling, not knowing that. Knowing a person don't, you know what I mean? That's scary to think, dude. Because us men, like when we find a girl we like, they become like our best friend. We tell them shit we probably shouldn't be telling them. You know what I mean? Get to opening up and coming vulnerable and all that stuff, and that's what that'll put a man right back in his shell. Put him right back in his shell.
Okay.
You ever had that happen to you, brother?
What?
You ever loved a woman and she didn't love you back? You ever felt that?
I'll say I've been in a situation trying to trying to fight and do the things necessary for it, and it wasn't reciprocated. But I think for me, it reached a point to where you get to a point where it's just like this ain't it. Because it's like you kind of got to know. The hope is that you recognize it before you snap, right? But it's just like you got to look at yourself and look at what you was doing before, and know who you are, know your value. Like this ain't even how I rock. Yeah,
this ain't even how I'm set up. Yeah.
Period. So like you could be like, okay, this is how I used to be, and you look at how you are now, and it's just like, be honest, it's almost like you look at yourself like, man, I'm being low key a sucker. Like, nah, I ain't going out like that. No, for real. It's just like you start to look at how things are, and you look at how nothing ain't being reciprocated to you, but you doing a whole bunch of stuff for this person, but yet they not filling your cup, but they still taking and taking and taking and taking. At some point in time, you have to look at yourself and be like, you know what? I can't do this. Because if you continue to go down to this road, that's on you because you recognize that you can't do it. And if you continue to go down the road, that's on you. At some point, you got to look in the mirror and be like, that I'm not built like this. I'm not getting nothing in return. My glass is empty. I continue to give and give and give, but ain't nothing getting back. So, nah.
Right.
Okay.
100% right.
Okay, we got a question. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. What if it's a woman who gives her all to a man and he plays with her heart? Then when he finally realized what he has, he's all in, but then she's checked out.
That's bro, that's human nature, bro. That's gonna be with any man, that's gonna be with any woman. That's human nature. Anybody gonna it's made like, all right, so you ever heard the saying like every time a woman forgives you, she loves you less and less? You ever heard that?
I heard it.
Yeah. That's real. That's some real true shit. And it happens a lot. A lot of us men pull our head out of our asses and want to, do right and all that shit. But by that time, she's checked out. And there's really nothing that you can do but besides apply what you learned from this situation. You know what I mean? And use that within your next situation. Because once a woman's burnt out, there is no, there ain't nothing us men can do about that. It ain't no, I don't give a damn. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how long your wee. It don't matter. Once she checked out, she checked out. Ain't nothing you can do about that. Once a woman check out, ain't nothing she can do about that. No matter how much she want to love you. She could be checked out and want to love you, bro, but she can't. It's something in them, you know what I'm saying? That's how a lot of women check out. They deal with so much shit and then they just kind of, and then it's just like a fucking light switch. They just wake up and then it's done. Whereas like, men are wired a little different. We'll sit and we'll deal with shit and 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 deal with shit. You feel what I'm saying? And then we start fucking up and then she becomes unhappy and then now I'm unhappy. I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm unhappy. You know what I'm saying? So that's, chick really can't do nothing after she checks out. That man puts you through too much. I can't, I've had a woman check out on me. It's not a good feeling because no matter how much she wants to love you, she can't. You just gotta, take what you learn, take your loss as a lesson. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But that's
The
gonna
crazy,
continue to happen. That happens on both ends of the spectrum. A man can give his all and she don't reciprocate, and a woman can do the same thing. And you know, and I've seen women try to jump through and I want to do this, I want to do that. It's mainly us men though. It's mainly us men. But I've
no, it
seen
is.
women do
No,
it
it is.
too. I've seen chicks do it too. You know what I mean? Where okay, I realize I realize what's missing now. You know what I'm saying? And I want to do this over again. And, that's usually how it goes. Whereas we usually, I need you, babe. I need you. That shit don't work.
Mhm.
No matter how much you cry, no nothing. It don't work. It don't work,
No,
boy.
but the crazy part about that is, like you said, how men are wired different. It's crazy how a woman could check out like that. And like when we
Mhm.
check out, we still try to stay in the situation. But like you said, we'll do stupid stuff to where it'll be a problem to where she'll want to leave. But we still
Yeah,
try to stick through it
yeah. But we
when
don't necessarily,
the women don't.
and we don't do it, on purpose. We don't do it on purpose. Like, all right, most times, like it's rare that you hear a man say, "I'm leaving. I'm unhappy." You get what I'm saying? That's very rare because our happiness really, like I said before, after we fall in love with you, our happiness don't matter. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
When they fall in love, it's butterflies in the stomach. It's all, they're frolicking, they're running and they're playing with dogs. It's all beautiful. It's all, when we fall in love, it's like, bro, damn, bro, like I know what I gotta do now because I love this woman. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
So when we fall in love, we ready to go to war about something about you. When y'all fall in love, y'all just want quality time. You want to spend time. We trying to figure out how the hell I'm gonna move this woman into this house. How I'm gonna get her what she want. How
Man,
I'm gonna make sure she's straight. How I'm gonna make sure that her kids with these other men is all right too. Because now I'm coming in the picture. That's what we think about when we fall in love. And then like, what I'm saying? Or that's what I think about when I fall in
oh,
love. Like, oh,
so now, so you about to go somewhere else. So when it comes to that, I don't think. Well, I'm not gonna say all women. It all depends on the women, the type of women you're dealing with. But when it comes to, I don't think they fully understand. Okay, if I'm going to do this in my mind, I gotta have this together, this together, this
yeah,
together. I want to make sure I'm good. I want to make sure she's good, so she don't have nothing to worry about. So we're not having no issues, And then even when
because we
work,
have a
let's just say,
financial clock.
right, but let's just say that you guys are actually together in your mindset. She don't know it. You may say it, but she don't really know how hard you about to go to try to do this because this is what you want. But in the progress of that, that's where you don't spend time with me or you don't do X, Y, Z. And that's
Mhm.
when you have to try to compromise with that. But it's just like in your mind, or I just say my mind, or like in a man's mind, for the most part, someone who's hungry for it, it's like you want to give the world, but you have to do whatever you got to do to be able to give. So it's just like
Yeah.
it's like a give or take. But I don't think that a lot of them really don't realize the mindset. Like when we get into a situation, that's what be in our mind. We're not,
Mhm.
well, for me, I'm not trying to be mediocre. Like I want to be able
Yeah.
to give for the person I'm with, the
Yeah.
world, the kids, the
Hell
world.
yeah.
I don't want to have to worry, ask for nothing when it comes to finance. I want, okay, we got it, we ain't gotta worry about it. And it's not the chase for money, but it's the chase of being able to, yes, spend time, make sure you're happy both on a financial level, obviously spending time, but in order to have money, you got to be able to do that, and that comes with the spending time, going, other places, so forth. But hold on, are you
Mhm.
are you looking at the screen? I'm not going to even
Yep.
ask the question. I'm just going to put it on the screen and I'll read it. Ready?
Yes.
I'm gonna let you answer this one. Can you forgive a
Why,
can you forgive a
why
woman
did
that
you
cheats?
put that on me? I think, fuck, man, this is a You knew right who to get this question to. I think.
No, that's why I said I wasn't even gonna read it. I was just gonna let you get it.
Oh man, I do. I think it is something that I think you can forgive her. I don't advise it. And this is why, though. This is why. All right. So I'm with this woman 10 years, okay? She cheats on me, whatever, you know what I mean? I forgive her, right? But when you think about it, think about what it takes for a woman to cheat, right? Because not all women, right? Not all women, but most women can't just have sex without a certain feeling. Now there are some women that are promiscuous and they can fuck whoever Tom, Dick, and Harry and they don't feel nothing. There's some women that's like that. But most women, about 80% of women, are not like that. They're very selective. This is why I don't feel like this is why I don't advise you to do it. Because for your woman that you've been with, that has your kids, that you know, that you've opened up to, that's seen the worst of you, seen the best of you, you've seen the best of her, worst of her, everything, right? Think about what it takes for her to become comfortable with a man to take her clothes off. You know what I'm saying? It's different for me and you. It's different for us, right? But for her, a woman has to be comfortable, okay? A woman has to really like you most of the time to take off her clothes and give it to you. You get what I'm saying? And they cannot, most of them can't have sex without emotion. So most of the time there is an emotional attachment to that man that they just had sex with in some sort of way, right? This is why I don't advise it. Because if you were able to disconnect yourself as a woman, now I'm not talking about a man, as a woman, right? Because y'all have different morals. They have different morals than us and shit like that. If you were able to disconnect yourself enough to do what you did, there was there the odds of us getting our connection back is slim to none, right? Because let's say you do cheat, you get caught, you get what I'm saying, whatever, you break it off and you stay home, right? As a man, my ego and my pride is fucked with right now. You get what I'm saying? There ain't really nothing you can do about that besides deal with it, right? Most of the time they can't deal with it. But forgiving a woman for cheating is not advised, bro, because like I said, there is an emotional connection there with that other man. There is always going to be that emotional connection there. And if she doesn't leave to go see what that emotional connection is about, it's always going to be there. There is always going to be something lacking. You are always going to have questions, right? Women, you know, I can't speak for how they operate with that. But us men, we're always going to have questions, right? One thing about my situation that happened with me when it happened with me is at the time, I didn't have nobody to talk to. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't call you and be like, bro, you'll never guess what you, because of my ego. You get what I'm saying? Right. I'm the man. Like, don't nobody do that to me like I do that. You don't pull a me on me. You get what I'm saying? So, and then, you know, come and then going to, going to your family or your friends and all that stuff. We kind of had the same circle. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going out here and I'm telling my peoples and everything that happened. They staring at her crazy. I didn't have nobody to talk to. I had to eat that shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? If I decided that I was going to forgive her and stay, I had to eat that shit. Right. But in some cases, you would hope, maybe she is mature enough that we can talk about it. In my case, we couldn't. So I couldn't talk to her about what she did. I couldn't talk to anyone else about what she did. I just had to eat that shit. And in the long run, it caused me to do things that I probably wouldn't have never did. You know what I'm saying? Because right. I'm peeping our disconnect. You get what I'm saying? And I'm seeing the connection over there that you had over there, right? Mm-hmm. And the connection we once had is never going to be the same because you have now disconnected so far because you were able to, like I said, disconnect yourself, take off your clothes, and be comfortable with another man. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's different because, like I said, a woman has to be completely, men are savages. You know what I'm saying? We're savages. So if you can make a woman feel comfortable enough that she wants to take her clothes off of you and all that, dude, don't take this woman back. You get what I'm saying? Because she's always going to be looking to me, she's always going to be looking for the next best thing. Because she just went out and did what she did, and it was forgiven, and it was all swept up under the rug. We don't talk about it. We don't do none of that. To her, that never happened. So then when you bring this up and you want to talk about it, why are you bringing up old stuff? I thought we were past that. If you forgave me, just forgive me. Don't forgive me and bring it up there. But just because I forgave you don't mean I'm over. Don't mean that not necessarily don't mean I'm over, but it doesn't mean that I'm secure in what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? And what the fuck I'm pushing myself to get over this. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And if you're not helping me do that, it's just, no, you cannot forgive a woman. You can, but I don't advise you to do it because it will never be the same. Your pride as a man, your ego as a man will always eat you alive. If you don't fuck this nigga up or kick her ass, your ego and shit is always going to eat you alive.
Okay, so that same thing, I think it's important to expound on from the guy's perspective. So from the guy's perspective, the difference is, like you said, some women are built to where they don't have an emotional connection, but 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10 they do. So when it comes to us, though, this is where I guess it's different, and it's not right. I'm not saying it is, but it's different because how we're wired. Mm-hmm. We can go and do something and it be no attachment at all.
Nope. Don't care about the motherfucker. Don't care if I ever see him again.
Right. And it be, that's it. You know, whereas for women it is, so it's just like when it comes to that cheating part, and I'm not saying that women should forgive or allow a man to cheat. That's definitely not what I'm saying. But at the same time,
we definitely don't want to stir those feathers, buddy.
Right. But it's a difference when it comes to how we do it.
Yes.
Like I said, when it comes to the emotions behind it, there don't be no emotions when it comes to it. We're gonna do is just that's what it was. Rather it was 10, 15 minutes, that's just what it was. Going about your business. Right. Whereas I don't have to, oh well, hey, how you doing? I don't have to do none of that. But when it comes to a woman, it's a lot more intimate. It's a lot more feelings in comparison to when if a guy was to do something.
Right,
because that's the thing that's always a disconnect when it comes to a man stepping out, which they shouldn't.
Right.
Compared to when a woman step out, because at the end of the day, it's a pride thing. There should be a pride thing for a woman, but it's just like it don't be like, oh well, because of this, because that be stupid stuff. You get what I'm saying? It don't even be something that's like, you know what, I'm unhappy. He don't do that. It's not that. It just be like something stupid. And I think like that's something, older people do it, but I think that's something that be like on a younger thing. Once you start to realize and understand life, you realize, that ish ain't worth it once you get older.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's definitely not. It's definitely not, and it can cause a whole lot of problems. But yeah, man, it's not, cheating is never like, it's never the thing. It's never the go-to thing. It's never, for me, it was never that, you know what I'm saying? So have I cheated? Yeah, I've cheated before. I've fucked up a couple times, you know what I'm saying? I don't make excuses for it. But there is a huge difference as opposed to me doing what I do and you doing what you do. And it sucks, but it is what it is. There ain't nothing we can do about that. I go out here, I can throw this thing around 10 different ways and my body, you go around, throw that motherfucker 10 different ways, you niggas is running away from you. You get what I'm saying? Like but you know why it's like that though? I think, and it's just my theory, I think it's so frowned upon for women to be like that because it's so easy for them. Does that make sense? So most women, right? All right, let's not say most women. An attractive woman can go through her social media. Boom. What's up with you? How you feeling? Pull up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They can do that. We can't do that. Most women can walk up to you in the bar and touch you
Right.
and not get no repercussions. You know what I'm saying? So the reason, so it sounds fucking weird, right? It sounds wild, but we get applauded for doing those things because it's not easy. It's not easy. Like, that's not the easiest thing in the world to do. For a woman to get penis is the easiest shit to do. I've seen some of the ugliest women out here getting it. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm serious. Like, I've seen some ugly women out here getting it. I think that's another reason why that, you know, that's looked upon like that's nasty. And then on top of that, bro, listen. A nigga dip his finger in my drink, but that's your drink. I don't want it.
Yeah.
A female touch my straw, nigga, I'll rinse the straw off and use it again. You understand what I'm saying? That makes sense?
Yeah.
Come on, man. I mean that shit, it sounds crazy, but it makes sense. To me, maybe I'm a little crazy. I could be a little off. But hell yeah, you put your finger in my drink, that's yours. You have sex with my woman, that is yours.
No, that's real.
She yours. Because at that, because see, that's the way I look at it, the way I described it to my significant other when this happened with us was, you let a man in my temple. That's my safe place. You know what I'm saying? That's my safe place.
Okay. Oh, we're gonna talk about this really quick, because so now it goes into why is it like that? Because truth be told, if we're being honest, women are starting to be kind of how like guys were, and then we look back then how the women was 10 toes down, like in the 60s and 70s, when our great granddads or whatever, like they said, Papa was a Rolling Stone. That's what it was. They stayed 10 toes down. And I think that now the roles are kind of changing to where women are kind of doing that, and it's frowned upon. It's a standard. At the same, hold on, but at the same time, though, when it comes down to it, it's frowned upon because that's what it was. That's not what it was traditionally. Things have changed due to social media and due to all this other stuff. So it's like now it's not the same when it comes to the tradition that we thought. Because I'm with you. Like, if you with your woman, that's your temple. It's not gonna be nothing else. And if it is, cool, you go stay with that person, keep it going. Whereas for us, it's always been, because it don't be no feelings involved. It'll be like, okay, yeah, you do this, you never talk to her again. It sucks, but that, like you said, that's kind of the way it is, because it'd be no attachment.
Right.
Where when it comes to women, it is attachment.
In most cases, it is an attachment. Not in all cases, but in most cases, there is an attachment.
Yeah.
There is an attachment.
It's unfair. It's unfair, though.
It is unfair. And every time we go out and we do this and we sleep with these women and we don't talk to them and we're not attached, that don't mean that they're not becoming attached.
Real.
So, I mean, we play just as much a part into it as they do, you know what I'm saying? But it's just, our wiring is just a little different, dude. It's just, there's no explanation for that. Like, everybody's been trying to figure out the answer to that. There's no answer to that. I can't tell you why women do most of the things they do out of emotion. It's just how they're wired. That's what I charge it up to, right?
Yeah.
And most women cheat out of emotion, not just because they want to get their rocks off. A nigga cheat just because he want a nut.
That's true. All right. Anything or anything?
Huh?
I got you. Let me see. I'm gonna see if there's any questions, but if anything, we're about to get off in a little bit. Okay, let me ask you this. I'll ask this real quick. Do you think that most of the women have a backup plan? Let's just say let's just say they're in a relationship. Do you think they got a backup plan? Just
They
in
know who
case,
got
just in case
next.
you mess up, just in
Of
case you
course, yeah.
mess up.
Yeah, us niggas is the only ones that don't have backup plans. How many niggas you know been in a marriage and threw away a rainy day fund? How many niggas you know did
That's
that?
real.
I
That's
was
real.
putting
No,
this
that's
up,
real.
babe, just in case we didn't make it. Like, nah, women always do that. That's just how they wired, fool. Yeah, they know who got
Yeah.
next. They know who they gonna try next if this person don't do nothing stupid in the meantime. You get what I'm saying? Because these niggas that got next, right? They still gotta, they still, they gotta act right, even though it's not their turn.
Right.
Man, they know who next, man. They know who coming next. These niggas is around. They around. They don't tell you about them, and that's okay. But yeah, I do. I definitely do. Most women, if she's smart, she got a backup plan. But you know, niggas is the only ones that don't. When I listen, bro, when a chick, most times a female don't leave to be alone. That's another thing I learned. She won't leave if she alone, or if she don't know who got next already.
All right. Before we go, it's one more I'm gonna read, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Okay, so this is basically when we was talking about how it's being your tempo as a male, like when it comes to females. When they if you enter females' legs, that's like our temple. So if
Yeah,
it's your temple, you expect no other man to be in your temple. You shouldn't be able to go and dip your joystick into another woman's temple and bring it back to
and
us.
you are 100% right. There is nothing wrong in what you just said, but reality is this, man. Like I said, you can touch my motherfucking straw, and I can go wash this straw off. But you get inside, you put your hand inside my cup. That is your cup. That's your cup. That is your fucking cup. I'm not saying that it's right that we go and take our joystick and play whichever game we decide to play. But like I said, that comes with age and maturity. A lot of
Right.
a lot of men my age is done with that shit. So yeah, we've left a couple broken hearts in the in the past, but a lot of us is done with that shit. I'm not moved by sex.
Yeah. Same.
I've
Same.
had enough. God damn it. I just want to lay down sometime. Like I'm not, you know what I'm saying?
Peace.
So
Peace.
I'm
That's my thing.
exactly right. But it comes with age and maturity. And no, it's not right to throw our joystick around, but there is a difference. That's one thing you cannot deny. That's reality. Reality is there is a big difference as opposed to me and you. I had sex with another woman. My woman never knew until I told her. She had sex with another man. I knew because I felt it. She didn't tell me shit. I told her she was fucking someone else. I know what my temple feels like. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We know our shit. I know what my little shit felt like, fool. And after whoever cuz was, my shit ain't feel the same.
Right.
And I was able to I told you about it a while after it happened. You feel what I'm saying? Bro, I knew beforehand. I told you I might have said something to you before it even came out. I knew beforehand, but that's because I was in tune with that woman. You get what I'm saying? So nah, it's not right, but reality is, it is what it
No,
is. And like you said, Papa was a Rolling Stone. That shit is fucked up. That shit is fucked up. It wasn't right for Granddad to be out here doing all the shit that he was doing. But let me tell you why Grandma stayed. Because Granddad didn't let the shit that he was doing in the street bleed off into the house. That house was still taken care of.
yeah.
Them bills were still paid. Grandma still had what she needed. Kids still had what they needed. Yeah, Granddad fucked off. But you gonna sit here and tell me that Grandma and Granddad been together for 50 years, and you gonna tell me Grandma ain't never seen another dick? Granddad ain't never seen a different pair of titties. I don't believe it. It all comes with age and maturity. People can get through that stuff, infidelity and stuff like that. If like it's all about asking the right questions and making the right type of changes. Once a cheater, not always a cheater. I don't believe that shit. I believe people are driven to cheat. I believe unless you're just a horny bastard, most of the time you are driven to cheat, male and female. Men cheat more often because we don't say shit. We repeat ourselves. Listen, if I tell you every night that I don't like that ugly ass pink nightgown you keep wearing to bed, and you keep wearing it just because it's comfortable. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is the small shit that they don't understand. You get what I'm saying? And that's just something petty.
Right.
If I'm sitting
No,
there and
but
I'm telling you're essentially letting me know that you don't give a fuck about how I feel. But you know what? I'll walk out here to a woman that I'm not paying her bills. I'm not taking care of none of her kids. I'm not doing none of the things for her that I'm doing for you. And she's giving me everything that I've been begging you for. That's how easy that shit happens.
but I
We
think,
don't
like
pay
you said,
attention to each other.
is we don't pay attention, but I think the breakdown in communication. And I said this before. When it comes to communication, we'll say something like once or twice, and then we're prone to shut down and not say something else. And then with that being said, all that stuff will fester, and it can lead to what you just said, as far as you getting attention and you accepting the attention from someone else because of the lack of communication, because you shut down because you felt that they wasn't listening. But at the same time,
The
I
lack
think
of
it's on us.
communication, the lack of appreciation.
Right, but I think it is on us though, because we shut down a lot. I think it's on us to kind of not shut down and be able to talk about it, rather as once,
But how do you
twice.
not shut down when you don't have? But how do you not shut down when you're not in an atmosphere where you feel like you can say these things and be voicious about these things? How do you do that and not shut her down? You get what I'm saying? That be the issue. That's why we shut down after saying it for so many times. Because after we say it so much, now the women start to shut down. It's like this little gaslighting thing that comes on. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And now we're not.
Yeah.
And now I told you I didn't like the motherfucking that pink muumuu you keep wearing, and you thinking I'm saying you fat. You get what I'm saying? Like, nah, like that's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like now it becomes a gaslighting thing. Oh, you not liking this, or I don't do this for you, or like it is,
But I
bro.
think
That's
I'll say this really quick. I think because women do it a lot too, but I think how we say it. Because I notice me, I say some stuff and it may be, I know what I mean by it, but because I say it in whatever tone, you'll take it as, oh, you, like you just said, she feel like you calling her fat, and you don't mean it that way. You know exactly how you meant it, but how she takes it is based on how we say it. And like I said, I know I'm big on, like, I'll say something, I know what I mean. It's probably like nonchalant, but you may think I'm coming hard at you when it's just like, or you think I don't care when it's like, no, I care. I may not be the person that express that I care the way you want me to, and that could be the miscommunication when it comes to that. But we're gonna have to do this another time when you stationary. But hopefully everyone was able to be open enough to listen to me and Brandon. And you got any closing words?
nah. Stay safe out there, kings
And queens.
and queens.
All right. That is it.
All right, Domino. Love, peace, and hair grease, brother.